Oh, you know what else we need to talk about is that new video that Scott put out is really good. I'm actually gonna copy this link and share it in this post because it's really good.
Hey, Teacher Andy, can you share that again? I had a teacher asking some questions to me.
Oh, no problem. I said we should also talk about Scott Gerard's new video that he just put out. It's really good, and I'm gonna put the link to it in this post.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Hmm. All right, hold on. I gotta fix this. All right, we are live. I'm already seeing people reacting and looking. So if you guys are listening to this, and you want to join because you want to talk about something that RJ said last night, if you watched the live, make your comment in the post. And if you want to get on and talk to us about that, that'd be great. There was a ton of great news from RJ. He took his vacation because he knows he's about to have one crazy, crazy ride. So um, the the main news is that the app is on its way. Pro users will get to use it first. One of the really cool benefits with having a pro package is you're also going to get a new link, invitation link, that is going to be special and very personal, um, that people will see when they click on it. So that's really cool. It's kind of a special link for web talkers. So that is exciting stuff. But I'm gonna wait just a little bit, see if anybody gets on and wants to, talk about something. And we'll go from there. Tim, I'm sure will want to talk about something.
Hey, Teacher Andy, I will say this, that what we're gonna do from this point on with pro packages is whoever we decide to unlock, it will be the $100 pro package.
Okay.
So then that will give more people 5 levels instead of the pro
Right.
platinum. They can choose at another time to just upgrade for another 100 more.
Right.
If they choose to do it, they'll. So we have an opportunity to do 5 more over the next week.
Right. Okay.
And with that said, we're going to go to another level with nonprofits.
Yes. So that is a great point as we kind of wait if people want to talk about sorry, I'm looking at someone's post. I swear it looks like somewhere in the UAE, but I can't really tell. Anyway, Yeah, that is a big thing because we are starting to get some non. Yeah, it is. I knew it was Abu Dhabi. It says Dubai right at the top of it. Huh, cool. Um, what what is really cool about what's going on right now is we've started bringing in some businesses, and now we've got a couple nonprofits that are going to be a very big part of Web Talk. And once again, something that is going to be powerful is RJ mentioned last night that the 10% that he is putting away, or not putting away, but putting into the fund from Web Talk, and he is asking that everybody else goes and signs the I don't know exactly what it was called. I have to look at the exact name of it, but it's a thing that says, um, you need to sign this thing that says that you will give 10% to charity, that you're pledging that. And what he has said is that nonprofits will be able to apply for grants from Web Talk, from that 10%, to support their nonprofits. And the really, like, quite honestly, the stipulations are very minimal. Um, be the right kind of nonprofit, but ultimately be able to show that 100% of the money that WebTalk gives to you goes to the nonprofit and not into your pocket. We there's a lot of controversy about the Red Cross and Salvation Army and all these different things that literally pennies on the dollar actually makes it to people that really need it, or whatever their cause is. The other part seems to end up in CEOs' pockets and business people's pockets, and they're making a ton of money off of these nonprofit organizations. So you have to show and be able to be very transparent, kind of like Web Talk, um, show that transparency as where your money is going, which is perfect for the nonprofits that we're talking about because they're going to show that. They'll show that with ease. We have GeoAg, which is um, going to be a massive thing once we start showing you guys our little gardens. You're gonna jump right on that, I'm pretty sure. And you're not gonna jump on that because it's something that we told you about. You're gonna jump on that because you're gonna realize the value of being able to grow your own produce with minimal materials, a lot less water waste, and using that as almost like your own little business. We're going to see how someone in Thailand is going to grow and use that for their business, and they're going to show that. We all know who that is, but that is going to be huge. It's going to be something that is going to help a lot of people in the world, and we are working very closely with that nonprofit to really promote them and promote what they're doing, because I think it is so valuable for the world. We have another nonprofit that will be presented here in the near future, as we kind of get GeoAg going. Then we'll work on the next nonprofit and kind of bring that along. But that is coming soon, which is a great nonprofit. I think we know who Quaylon is, and we also know that he has created a nonprofit organization that is really good, and it's going to um, be something that many countries as well will be able to use as something that would be very valuable to them. So that's going to come here in a while too. So that's just another thing that just makes you just hope and wish and everything that Web Talk is successful, because it is not going to be successful and not benefit the world. And that is huge, because I think that something like Facebook, with someone who's making billions of dollars per month, and they've pledged money when they die, which is another, what, 40, 50 years from now, Zuckerberg will die. And you're going to wait that long to do something beneficial to the world, instead of posting non-verified, non-fact-checked information. So, just another thing that Web Talk's going to do better. All right, let me see here. I'm going to look. It seems like I think there's some people messaging. So let's see what we got here. Oh, yeah, there you go, Chris. Very good. Chris was listening. Nice. Chris says onboard verification down to 3 steps, which is, you're exactly right. Very good point, Chris. Very good point. The onboarding process is going to be easier. It's going to make it so it's much faster for people to get involved. That is a very good thing, because it just makes it easier for people to get going. And with the new app and stuff like that, it's just going to speed up that whole process of getting people, set up. And it's funny, because I don't really talk about, people like trying to get people involved. Like, you don't really need to do that. You just talk to people and they're going to join the social media site. It's really not not a big deal. So yeah, so that's kind of cool. Correct, Chris, correct. Let's see. I don't know if Chris just made a comment and is just listening, or if Chris is trying to get in. Let's see if anybody's trying to get in. Doesn't look like anybody's trying to get in right now. So anyway, Tim, what you got?
Mr. Manny left a comment on my newsfeed with Web Talk Live.
Okay.
Just amazing Web Talk, and he put a WTF. So we'll have to find out what that one is, because we all know the main one. And,
right.
He just wrote Web Talk Forever, just amazing what he's hearing and listening to, Mr.
So is that what WTF means? Web Talk Forever?
Yeah. Web Talk. Yeah. Oh, he put the WT, Web Talk F, instead of what the. Oh, very good. I needed help there.
That's kind of funny.
Yes. RJ, I saw that you tagged Scott Gerard in the spotlight post. And I tagged a few. I tagged Mr. Manny on my Web Talk Live with this link. What RJ shared is actually very beautiful, especially when we have so many different countries in Web Talk now. Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about the Web Talk family. I'm not talking about IEG everywhere. Okay? So get that out of your head for a second. RJ shared about countries and the profit made from its users in the countries where he's going to put that profit towards what the countries want to do in nonprofit ways, nonprofit organizations. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if you understand that, Web Talk family. That's actually amazing to hear that. He talks about taxes in different countries are different. These are all learning issues. And we are bringing in, yes, IEG, we are bringing in nonprofits that are based on individual ideas. Quaylon is a perfect example. It's his nonprofit. It's not Red Cross, where it's a giant organization that grew to be a monster, where no one can understand the details of the monster or the giver, whatever you want to call it. Big is big. And we have an opportunity to follow along and create with Quaylon, his nonprofit, and support him in Web Talk with comments and emojis as you meet him in Zoom personally. Like Teacher Chris will this weekend, a special meeting with Quaylon. Quaylon has agreed to meet Teacher Chris, IEG USA. And Quaylon on the side, inviting Teacher Andy and myself there. We have an opportunity to support a nonprofit using emojis and comments. We must begin to forget about the share feature. We need to begin to learn how to use our platform, connecting with real people that we meet in Zoom. Because I know you're all excited about making points and revenue. You need to understand that all of these contests of coming together and sharing each other's posts and commenting, all you're doing is actually driving your own revenue down without spending time meeting people.
Yeah.
You're flipping the beauty of Web Talk. And those are the key words that RJ shared again. Real relationships. Well, how do you create these real relationships? How do we support Martin's wife, Gail, who lives in Orlando and has a spa? We go to her Web Talk post because we met Martin and we give her emojis and comments, and what's going to happen? She's going to earn revenue to give her certificates for her spa to Web Talk members that travel to Orlando in the future. How many people are supporting Martin from IEG? Not many. How many met Martin over the months and almost year from IEG? Where are you? See, people tend to get lost in the beauty of Web Talk and the development of their own team, and they truly don't understand what Teacher Andy and Teacher Tim are doing for the whole Web Talk family. I bring people on that are not connected with IEG in the Zoom and get to meet them. Perfect example, Daryl.
Yep.
I show his Web Talk account because I want people to see it, and it shows that I'm not following him. And the reason is simple. There's such an army of IEG Web Talkers that will give him support through what he shares, maybe unconsciously. This is what IEG Vietnam is doing. And the opposite of IEG Vietnam supporting people that they've never met is a large percentage of Web Talk family members are not supporting them back at all. So you've gotten your bonus from Teacher Andy and Teacher Tim, unleashing IEG everywhere in Web Talk, IEG and beyond. So stop thinking about Teacher Tim oh, can you share my Web Talk post because I need comments and emojis? Stop with your silly little talk mails. If you want to be narcissistic, you go stay in Facebook. If you want to meet real people, continue your adventure in Web Talk. And when there are these Web Talk lives, look at the titles, comment, get the YouTube live link, make it your own. And you're going to get comments and emojis from your Web Talk contacts if they know who you are. And here's another thing that many people continue to do. They just hit the share button, thinking that's going to drive Web Talk to new plateaus and going to boost up their bank account from Payoneer. And all you're doing is just clogging up the magic news feed. A real-time news feed. It is one of the most beautiful news feeds. It's not controlled by Web Talk. That's the kicker. Facebook controls your timeline because you're a slave. You have zero control. You're going to continue to hear that from me. And to the ones that are listening to RJ, thank you. Because RJ is showing the world a system that blows people's minds, especially businesses. And if anybody does any research about Jack Ma, I'm going to bring up Jack Ma again. He was laughed at, spit on, ridiculed, and rejected. And look at Alibaba where it is today, because he started with one human being. I'm going to help you in the rural area with your farming. I'm going to bring you customers. But because you're brainwashed to think China is some faraway land that is destroying countries, then that's what you think. You're just a programmed human being. Have you truly sat down with individuals in that country and listened to their visions and facts connected? No, you haven't. There's one human being that has done that. And we will bring up that Fire Fan was being led by China inside Fire Fan, Teacher Andy. They understood it. They would get free education. They would have Teacher Tim and WeChat in CC Talk and bring others in to talk. All they had to do was click advertisements in Fire Fan, and Teacher Amin from Iran, the true project-based teacher, made money. And they would lead it, even though they had to spend money on a VPN. They would wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to chat real time in really a silly little app. Then all of a sudden you see Facebook come alive with these Fire Fan individuals all pumped up again about making money in another application. Uneducated on really how it all works. It's every Teacher Andy, you know that Web Talk is going to work. You know it. I know it. Because we have enough individuals that are being provided free services of all types. And all they're doing is they're in an opportunity to earn through these free services.
Yep.
It flips humanity's mind. It's not possible that way. And that's the evolution in the 21st century. It takes humanity out of the slavery that they've been in all of their generational lives. See, we're not talking about a slavery of the 1950s in America. We're not talking about the 1700s slavery in another country. Talking about this slavery right here. It is trapped right here. And you can't get out and see everything around you. I appreciate RJ greatly.
Mm-hmm.
He sits so calmly, like Teacher Marie wrote in Web Talk, you know, he's just so calm. And he has a true game changer that depends on his continued tech-savvy mind and risk-taking, and saying to everybody out there, it's time now to get your pro package. It's time now. Get your $100 pro package for a whole year. Get that investment from someone, just like Jack Ma did. A couple $1,000s, he got an investment at the beginning to start it up. And he leveraged that to $1 billion company where he just retired last year at 50 years old. $54, somewhere in the 50s. Leverage it. Leverage the $100. Web Talk is an asset.
Mm-hmm.
When you create time in Web Talk, that's your time. You make a post, you make a half a penny with 10 emojis, that's an asset. Facebook's a liability. Is YouTube an asset? It is in the knowledge base of someone giving. You have an opportunity to give to that person so it can continue to be an asset in YouTube for people that are giving. And YouTube has become a world of, I just take from people without subscribing and liking. And who makes the money? YouTube becomes bigger and bigger because society doesn't know how to give back to the YouTubers. That's why Web Talk YouTubers, every Web Talker should be going into YouTubers of Web Talk and subscribing and liking as much as possible. Every Web Talk YouTuber should have at least 100,000 subscribers.
Right.
But because you can't actually feel like you're a part of something, a true family, you have to listen to something like this and be like, oh wow, Teacher Tim's correct. Again, I don't care if I'm correct or not. It's what we should be creating for people that give. I love the story of RJ talking about an Airbnb. He's going to have the whole world for him to travel in. How is that not possible? To think that you want the app there, humanity, but when the app does truly come with more of his money and his investors that he got, that's why he's employing more people to join the team and get more money, because we've dropped whatever ball we had on purchasing pro packages. We've dropped the ball. Yeah, I say we. I'm part of you, humanity. We've dropped the ball. We should have had 1 million pro users a year ago.
Right, right. Yeah, I find that very surprising. You know, I went ahead and got my pro package as quickly as possible because I was like, there's no, like, this is just going to disappear instantly. You know, think about this. Think about all the 250,000 affiliates that were part of FireFan. If they would have spent their money in WebTalk instead of FireFan, where would they be at right now? Because that'd be 250,000 of them paying for a pro package. It would only take 4 people each to hit the 1 million, and it would have been over. And some of those people still. Oh, did you see what I sent you in Messenger? The screenshots. How all of a sudden, guess who pops up when he hears FireFan's coming back?
Yes.
About just, I mean, just you know, just trying to find that quick buck, trying to just get what he can get from someone else, and not really trying to benefit anybody. He'll say he's trying to benefit people, but it's just that little ears perk up. Because if he was, like I've always said, if he was trying to benefit people, he would have been in WebTalk all the time.
Oh, yes.
Maybe he'll show up. He'll show up and start promoting when he sees an app. When someone mentions that the app is out, then he'll show up.
That's going to be my question to RJ when we do get him, if he comes in here ever again, or I'm in a meeting and I will have to question with Alfonso's little roundtable. RJ, give us the deadline of when you remove the money when it's not collected. Give us a deadline. Because you've already said you've extended it. You need to give us a deadline and then make it happen.
Yeah, and put that right back into the rewards.
Yes, yes. And drop the 10 times deal until we are truly solid with whatever revenue the app brings in. It doesn't have to be 10 times, RJ. Just use that revenue for the people that left it, and all those people that upgraded, they're in accounts sitting there. You gave the time, pull it back, use it for the ad rewards, or whatever you think. What do you think we should use it for? And let's move forward.
Yeah.
Let's boost up the beauty of the free rewards with 20,000 more dollars in there, because pro users purchased and they're just sitting somewhere, money sitting somewhere, and people that don't have any clue, take it back. You know, hey, you've already given the notices. Now, is it going to be based on now people will use the SUE word towards you, RJ? Okay, what's your experience with this? Can you share this? Can you enlighten us? I would like to hear what he has to say. These are the talks that drives it forward, because there's a lot of money of ours sitting in an account connected to you.
Yeah.
We're talking a lot.
Yeah. I would agree.
And it's also it has to be, revenue from the free rewards. That's just sitting there. Even though if there's no usage by that individual, there's still got to be points matched.
Yep. Yep.
So there's got to be a big chunk of the 6,000 of the month before, 5,000, that people that were inactive for, this is money sitting there.
Yeah.
No one's redeeming it. And
Well, I wouldn't be
redeeming
surprised.
rewards.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's being redeemed by who we're talking about. He's not going to talk about it, but I'm sure it's being redeemed. I would think he would make sure to get his money wherever he can get his money.
Oh, okay. Wow, that really trips me out right now. You saying that he would be aware to do it, and then he would not promote.
I'm sure.
This.
I wouldn't. That wouldn't surprise me at all.
Then he is a true devil.
But you know, it is what it is. I'm not worried about that.
Oh yeah, and I'll voice it right there, like I said in the 2 words, true devil. I'll repeat it again.
Right.
Because if that's the case, if that's a fact, hello. If that's a fact,
right.
Then we go against that and we knock it off the cliff, or I knock it off the cliff. I'll bring it towards I. Because that's exactly what the world has been dealing with ever since humanity started thinking of ideas on how to rip people off. And it starts with the educational system. So Teacher Tim, what are you doing inside the educational system then? Well, you know what conformity is? You know how to break conformity, humanity? Can you be 100% you inside conformity? Like Teacher Tim can? You look at those words, go be you always, and everybody looks and says, oh, just like what Teacher Tim says. And 99% of the people think that they are going being themselves, and you have no idea even what that statement means.
Right.
They had no idea. I can't wait for the sponsorships, man. We have to dive into that too. Let's talk to Quailon about that. The sponsorship ideas. I think we have a beautiful opportunity to catapult that in Web Talk.
Yeah.
Especially with what Scott Gerard, so beautifully said many, many months ago about once the world understands what's actually being created with education through Web Talk, it takes down everything. And there's the thing, humanity says, oh my God, he says it take down institutions. Institutions you join. Be a part of it. You shared yesterday about churches and the money. They want you working and being busy.
Right. And I just feel like the whether it's not the church that does it, but I think like missionaries, when I was talking about missionaries, that to me is what, if anyone could benefit from it, missionary workers that have to go and travel around to ask people for money instead of just staying where they're at and getting on a Zoom or getting on a Web Talk Live with the church and saying, hey, this is what we're doing, instead of us flying back to the States, traveling around house to house, barely surviving.
And when you shared that, the missionary part and the flying back to go get money, all I'm thinking about is all the planes and the fuel and all of that silliness that everybody talks about. We got to save the planet. We got to cut back on this and this. And you guys still don't get what Web Talk is? It's a place where there's going to be billions and billions of dollars made every month. And half of that's going to be given to you guys. If it's $10 a month, or someone makes $500,000 a month, that's up to that individual's effort and how much they love life and how much they can create in this life. That's the opportunity of Web Talk. Or you can choose to make zero money in Web Talk and just be someone that learns every single day because you don't care about money. This is why I, listening to you with the missionary part, and all I'm thinking about is exactly what RJ said. Hey, teachers, we need to take humanity to the next level to start talking about environment. And that's where RJ doesn't understand what the hell we're doing. And is it his excuse? Am I saying that he's incorrect, or how dare he say? Absolutely the opposite. Everyone listening right now. Do you understand what he's creating for you? He's giving you a platform. What did some super dad from India say a year ago on Facebook Live? He wants to create a platform for people to be educated in without the need for money. And when we're talking about Web Talk, and here's a platform that will actually do it and benefit students, teachers, businesses, but he wants to create his own platform. And here's one right in the lap of humanity. And what happens now? I get a message in Messenger a month ago that this super dad has cancer. What do? I make a post inside Web Talk, and everybody comments. Energy sent his way, blah, 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 blah. And revenue is made. Well, imagine if we were to post that, and all of a sudden, there's 1 million people that give emojis and comments in Web Talk, and Web Talk is already $1 billion company. We can actually fly to that super dad in India and together give him energy and take him outside. But because you're so stinking ignorant, humanity, you think I'm bashing RJ when you hear Teacher Tim talk. You have no idea what a true project-based teacher is. And Teacher Andy, I want to talk to you really quick about this. We were talking privately, and I'll bring this up about how we're challenging individuals with Web Talk, and many of them are passing the challenge along the way. Many are failing. And again, I will say this publicly again to you. I want to thank you for bringing up The Last Dance of Michael Jordan. See, he was a champion. A champion. Well, how did he become a champion? Did he just stay in his own world? Did he just quietly show without expressing himself? Through his steps of how he would create himself as a champion, through his father challenging him, and then his brothers and his school challenging him on the passion that he loved, and then go to North Carolina with that individual that would challenge him. And then the next level, and who voices now that they hated him and say thank you. Are any of you out there listening to a true champion like Michael Jordan or a Muhammad Ali? Do you think Muhammad Ali was quiet and just created his I'm the champion, the greatest? He voiced it in spoken word. And the world spit on him. You want to lose a human being in a war? And he says, no. Thank you, Muhammad, for standing up and saying no to a machine that most definitely you would have died in another country and we would have never saw the greatness being created by one more human being. None of you are going to look that way. My father was a Navy man. Top of the line, Michigan University. Did his son follow in the same educational and Navy situations? Zero did he ever share to his son, you have to be like that. 0 times did he ever say.
Exact same thing for me. Never once was that a conversation.
Yes.
You know, it's funny because when people talk about the military and like what you're doing to help your country, I just look at teachers doing the same thing, but without having to go, you know, fight for that. Because that's what you're doing. You're trying to change your country to be better. It's just a different way. And I have absolutely nothing negative to say about anybody that would put their life on the line to defend their country. That is a choice that many of people that I know, many friends, have done, and luckily none of my friends have died because of it, but they've been mentally scarred for their entire lives. And that is something that, you know, I respect very deeply, but I would never see myself as someone who would do that, who would make that decision. My decision was to be a teacher to help try to change the minds of people so they didn't have to get to the point where war was the final conclusion.
And I bring up Muhammad as an example that individuals that fight for their country are the highest level human beings.
Mm-hmm.
They're prepared to die to protect. And when you lose those human beings, you lose an energy in your country, in your community, in your home. It stops today. It stops with a true educational evolution. There's zero need for any human being to travel anywhere in their worlds to go fight if we understand how to listen to each other. And that's happening today. That's the evolution.
Yep.
And that's a process of a championship. See, right now the championship hasn't been won, let's say.
No, this is preseason. This is still preseason. App comes out. Now we're in the regular season.
Oh.
We haven't even gotten to the championship yet. We haven't gotten to the playoffs yet. Playoffs to me with WebTalk are when 100,000 people are in the IAG travel group. When you are at the point of having to battle against Facebook trying to come in and buy out, when you're going to have to battle supposed issues and go to court to stand up for yourself, that to me is the playoffs, because that's when it's going to be all the big names are going to come and try to knock it out.
Yes.
Here's something I wanted to share with you real quickly, screen share with you real quickly. I'm not going to get into it too much, but I just want you to see something I haven't talked about in a while, but this will interest you. The name may have changed, but supposedly,
Oh.
I haven't said a
Very
lot.
good.
I've always said it. I won't say it until I won't talk about it until I think it's of value. They're looking at deliveries now, and supposedly, we'll see where it goes.
That can still work in the favor of this app. A little bit of income can be made passively with this. That's very nice. That's needed.
Yep. Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of there's a kind of a convergence going on of all these things that have been worked on for years and years and years. Very interesting. You had to be very patient with all of these. Everything.
Right.
Just having to be patient and having to, what's going to come next? What's going to be the next stepping stone? And you know what's interesting is all of these are new companies, and it's just very interesting to see the progression of what a new company goes through. Because you have people that have come into WebTalk and have been a month in WebTalk and they're already complaining about it's not going anywhere. You have people that were with Trip when it was an Y and not an I, and they all disappeared because things went wrong. There were issues. There's Envy, which is they got to keep adding new things and keep building, and it's not going to happen overnight, and people complain about it. And then all of a sudden, as all these people, it's very interesting, a bunch of people just got up and walked away because they were upset. And now all of a sudden, what is he bringing out? Another stream of revenue, another thing that is going to be beneficial to the people that have stuck around. And so, when you think of like, a founder in Trip, a founder in Envy, a founder in WebTalk, what else? The three things? I swear there's another one. But I've just been around to be there and watch it grow and see where it goes. And and it's who knows which one's going to hit, but one of them is. One of them is. And we'll see what the other ones do.
Yes.
And once again, what are you going to hear when it's all going well? Oh, you're just so lucky. Yeah, you're just so lucky that you drove around in a car to understand what it's like to be a driver at 2 a.m. You're lucky because you sat around and did, WebTalk Q&As for 3 years. You're lucky because you saw the that there was some sort of value in a company that was rising, and when it all of a sudden brings something big, everyone says you're lucky.
And that was the statement of a web talk the other day, talking Bulls and Celtics. Mm-hmm. And then, Michael Jordan, your poster, and then the statement of, without the other cast members, Michael Jordan is what he is. Actually, that's incorrect.
Oh, I'm not going to get into that debate.
Oh, well, I'll get into it. Because it's incorrect. Because
if you look
at the history, yes,
if you look at
the history of that one entity called Michael Jordan and all the other characters that came through his journey, and those are key words, came through his journey, he rose them up their mountain as he was climbing his, and he was unstoppable.
Yeah.
And he was hated. And what did he do to Dennis Rodman? Listened. Oh, you want a couple days off? Well, you know who should have the the day off or 48 hours. It should be him. Did Michael Jordan take that 48 hours off? Did Michael Jordan know how to handle sponsors? Did Michael Jordan know how to handle his father's death or go be you always? If he wants to gamble, then he will gamble.
Mm-hmm.
And who are you, humanity, to tell him how he's going to gamble and what he's going to do?
Well, and I think if you once again relate that to, you know, to Web Talk, when someone asked Toto what she's going to do, I think it was Vladimir asked Toto, "What are you going to do with the money?" "Whatever I want to do with the money." I mean, that's the answer that anybody and everybody should have when someone asks them about, well, what are you going to do if you make a lot of money in Web Talk? Whatever I want to do. That's not your problem. That's not your issue. What I do with what I do is my choice. Now,
And that's, oh, sorry.
you know, any decision comes with consequences and rewards. If you want to be the person that doesn't respect what came to you because of what happened within the platform, then you'll get the consequences for that. It will come back to you. You know, we've talked a little bit about karma and just, you know, the idea of people, you know, even the simple little thing of taking even one person from somebody else by giving them their link for Web Talk, when it's said, like, don't do that, don't take people's, you know, don't give people their link from someone else or take someone from someone else by giving them your link. And we've said it numerous times and people keep doing it. You know, that's your choice, but guess what? It's also deal with the consequences. What's going to happen because of that? Well, who knows? Maybe you took someone who is going to do massive things in Web Talk from someone else, and you get paid because of that. You know what you did. And if you're a person of I don't know, if you just know, like, you know that it's going to be something that is going to bother you in the end. And you know that that is something that I feel very strongly about. And I don't, you know, I know how I'm doing things because I'm doing things obviously to help myself, but I'm not going to destroy someone else to help myself. I will help myself. I will help others, but I will also be doing things to help myself. And I think everybody should be doing that.
Yes.
Everybody should have at least
Yes.
a business or two already in Web Talk. At least.
Yeah. Hey, Teacher Andy, I got to head out for a period.
Okay.
And if you have some web talkers come in, I'll pop in.
Okay. I'll see if anybody wants to jump on, or I might get off myself. I've got another wonderful big day ahead of me, learning new platforms to teach from.
New platforms, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny. Before you go, I was talking to Ashley today, and I just said, you know, a lot of things are happening right now, and I just don't know how long I'm gonna last doing this at school. If I really want, if things start rolling the way they're supposed to be rolling and moving onward, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to deal with all this.
Exactly.
You know, teachers are stressed out right now. It's crazy what the online world is doing to teachers right now. To people who have been so used to walking into a classroom their whole career, and now all of a sudden they're taking on like this whole new thing, and people are flipping out right now. But I just don't, I'm just at the point where I'm like, I just don't know if I want to spend all this energy
Exactly.
doing something that you know. And I told her, I said, look, I said, I'm not ungrateful for having a job. I'm not ungrateful for having a paycheck. I'm not ungrateful for that, because some people just don't have that.
Right.
But you can still be at a point where you go, there is something better. There's got to be something better.
Oh, and you know there is.
Yeah,
It's right around the corner.
yeah, yeah,
It really is.
yeah.
You know.
Well,
So,
I'm not seeing anybody coming in. I'm not seeing anybody
okay.
making any saying
Comments
anything
maybe.
if they want to join or anything like that, or popping into the Zoom. So
Okay.
um yeah, so Quaylon will have, he's been talking to me to talk to some people. Um we'll see what tomorrow I will not be doing anything because we have an open house
Gotcha.
tomorrow.
Okay.
So maybe
All right.
Friday, we'll see.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Thanks, Bill.
All right. Talk to you later.
3. All right. See you, man.
Bye-bye.